This is a 67-gallon bioactive vivarium for a crested gecko. Today, we'll show you how we built it.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be scaping this 24 by 18 by 36 ExoTerra Pro for a crested gecko named Derpy. Say hi, Derpy.
He's shy.
This was a super fun build inspired by Cresty's natural habitat of New Caledonia. The tank features a fan-powered ventilation system, a hidden feeding station, a carbonized cork background, some really nice unique plants, and more. Let's get into it.
First off, we're going to need some air circulation. We're enclosing the plants and animals in glass, so we need to make sure that the air keeps moving. The ExoTerra Pro's mesh lid and built-in ventilation holes are already a solid start, but we always like to go one step further. We're going to be using a small fan to stop the air from getting stale and to keep the plants happy and healthy. The fan will sit inside a mini AC duct system that is going to be practically invisible in the final build.
This is the fan we're using. It is a fully adjustable PC fan. We like to use PC fans because they're tolerant of high humidity and they're capable of running 24/7. The fan and all our other materials are linked in the description so that you guys can follow along. Using our affiliate links is also a great way to help support the channel. Alright, now let's build that air duct system.
This is what we're using for our basic building material, black foam sheets. We can easily cut it with scissors or a knife. If we score one side, we can snap it to create a bendable joint. We're going to be using this foam to make our air duct system split into 3 parts. The first part is a box to hold the fan that sits up here at the top. The second part is this vertical shaft that the fan will blow air down. The third part is this horizontal shaft which splits the air and blows it out on either sides of the tank.
You can pause here to check out the general pattern we use for the air vent systems. If you want more information, you can also check out our whole video on ventilation and air circulation here. To make the box that holds the fan, we measure out the fan's width onto our foam 3 times. Now we can score and snap our foam to make a box. Right now, if we put that fan in, it would just fall right through. So, to create a lip that holds that fan in place, we score and fold the bottom upwards. We used hot glue to hold everything in place. Now, the fan sits easily inside the box.
For our vertical shaft, we cut out some triangular pieces to reduce the depth a bit. And then it's onto our vertical and horizontal shafts.
We make these basically the same way as our box. We score twice and snap to make a long rectangular tube that air can flow through. If you need any of these to be longer than your foam sheets, you can just attach multiple tubes together with some tape.
To attach the horizontal duct to the vertical one, we just cut out a small segment from the top of our horizontal pipe where they can fit together.
Finally, we're going to need an inlet hole for the air to flow in, and outlet holes on either side for the air to flow out. We just cut some squares out with our knife and then cover them with window screen mesh, which will stop animals or debris from sneaking into the vent. To make sure the fan is accessible, we top off the fan compartment with a piece of black aquarium-safe sponge cut to size, which makes a great lid.
With all the air circulation parts done, we just need to put it in our tank. We glue it in piece by piece using our hot glue, but you can also use aquarium-safe silicone. We're not too worried about getting a fully airtight seal since we're going to be going in around it with spray foam later. If you don't plan on using spray foam, we do recommend running a thick bead of silicone along the edges. And look, it's all done. The fan just sits in the top like so, blowing air throughout the tank. We know it's a bit of an eyesore right now, but don't worry because by the end you won't be able to see it.
With the ventilation taken care of, we can move on to Hardscape. We're using some big cork rounds to scape this tank. Our vision was to create a tree inside the tank to mimic the crested gecko's arboreal environment. It took a bit of experimentation, but we ended up fitting these 2 large branches together to make a Y shape. It's a solid start, but we're going to be adding smaller branches over it later like vines.
To seal our cork tree together and attach it to the tank, we'll be using some black expanding foam. We shook it thoroughly and then got to spraying along our connection points. We also used it to seal the gaps in our air duct system.
There's a few big holes in our tree that we wanted to fill, so we filled them with spray foam. Sometimes when you do this, it can be helpful to put some paper towels down first so the foam has something to stick to. We entirely filled some sections of the log with foam, making sure to leave a few hides for the cresty, like this spot in the upper right.
While the spray foam cured and expanded, we glued another few small pieces of cork in with hot glue to look like continuations of the tree and blend it into the walls. We usually let our spray foam cure for at least 6 to 8 hours, so we took this time to brainstorm where we wanted our ghost wood branches to go. We wanted it to look like vines of another tree or epiphyte growing over the main structure. These branches would give a lot of additional vertical and horizontal climbing space and add a bit of contrast from the sea of cork. This honestly took a really long time to get something we were happy with. It's a tricky balance of making sure the tank looks busy and alive without making it look like a chaotic mess.
Once we had some fun ideas for the branches and the spray foam was done expanding, we could pick and peel away at that shiny, smooth surface and expose the matte, textured foam beneath. We used our fingers to pluck pieces off and shape the foam until it fit neatly with the branches. This part is super satisfying.
With all of that done, we moved on to permanently attaching our ghost wood branches into place. We used our extra strong hot glue to secure the wood and made sure to use some of the pieces to start hiding the ventilation a bit more. We even brought in some cork flats to help cover the vents and make it look like just another tree branch.
Besides that ventilation, we've got a few more things to incorporate into the background. First up is a plastic feeding station that fits most plastic feeder cups. These are nice if you like to feed your crusty gecko diet and you want an easy way to swap it out. It's magnetized, but we're going to permanently attach it to the glass instead. We put it up here on the back right. Once the background is done, it should be pretty hidden.
Next, we glue plant pots around the tank. These mimic the soil deposits that you might find in the canopy in the wild. They'll provide some awesome pockets of nutrient for plants later on.
Last but not least, we're going to be adding this little coconut husk hide. The gecko has one in his old enclosure that he likes to use, so we figured we might as well bring it over to the new upgrade.
And with that, we were done with the hardscape and on to the background.
We're going to be using carbonized cork for this background. It's basically pieces of cork bark that have been compressed into these sheets. It's the same stuff cork boards are made of. Most cork boards are chemically treated though, and those chemicals are toxic to a lot of animals. For your vivariums, you're going to need heat-treated carbonized cork, which is completely pet safe. We took out our carbonized cork and broke it into pieces. We try to break it in half so that we're left with a flat side and a textured side.
We apply our black aquarium safe silicone to the flat side of the cork and then stick it right onto the glass. We can cover the glass walls with a mosaic of these cork fragments, which gives us a really nice and natural look. It's also a great growing surface for plants and mosses.
We use our cork chunks to hide components and blend them into the background. We make sure to fully cover parts like our ventilation system, the feeding station, and the soil pots. This is where the tank really comes together.
For some finishing touches, we're going to hide some of our earlier exposed hot glue and spray foam. We just cover these patches generously with silicone, smear it around, and then pat dirt onto it. You can use whatever dirt you plan on using in the tank and it'll blend right in. This step really helps seamlessly merge the hardscape with the walls.
Since the carbonized cork is heat treated, it's coated in a very thin layer of ash, which we can remove super easily by just giving it a quick rinse with the hose. And look at that, now we're finally done with the background. It looks great, but you might notice that we've got a slight problem. You can see straight through the gaps in between our carbonized cork. To fix this and make sure that all our corners are deep and dark, we've got to spin the tank around and slap on some peel and stick vinyl.
This stuff is pretty easy to use. We just cut it to size, spray the glass with water, peel off the backing, and stick it on. We scrape out all the air bubbles and trim the edges with a razor blade. Check that out. See how the shadows are completely black? This is the kind of contrast that we're looking for. The tank is feeling a lot more deep, dark, and mysterious. All the gaps between the carbonized cork are black now instead of see-through. We stuff some of them with damp sphagnum moss, which will continue to retain moisture for plants and moss later on.
Here is what it looks like with all those gaps filled in. Now the tank is finally ready for planting. We start off by mixing up our substrate. Our substrate mix is a combination of cocoa fiber, sphagnum moss, aqua soil, and charcoal. This mixture is nutrient rich, retains moisture well, and isn't prone to molding.
Our first plants won't even need substrate though. We're starting out with some Neoregalia Bromeliads. These are epiphytic plants, meaning they grow attached to trees outside the soil. We attach them to our cork by drilling a small hole, then poking their exposed stem inside. We sprinkled a total of 5 small ones around the tank using cyanoacrylate superglue to help attach them. They're small now, but these guys can really grow. And we grabbed some that can develop some really cool colors and patterns under bright tank lights.
After this, we packed up the tank. We're going to be doing the rest of the planting at our client's house. Before we forget, we add our fan back in with the sponge lid placed securely above it. The cord is going to run out of this port at the back.
And before we plant our ground plants, we need a drainage layer. This is a place beneath the soil where excess water can collect. We're using black aquarium sponge. It has a lot of surface area for beneficial bacteria and it's lightweight. We cut it to size and lay it down on the bottom of the tank.
Now we can start adding in our substrate. We're going to do a thin 1 to 2 inch layer at the front, sloping upwards towards the back of the tank. We also made sure to deposit our substrate along various spots in the canopy, like on top of our cork log or inside our hidden pots. This is effectively doubling the footprint of our vivarium and gives loads more places that plants can grow.
We started by dropping this pothos at the base of our tree trunk. Over time, we're hoping that it'll climb all the way up the cork branches, which should look pretty awesome. Ferns are often found growing epiphytically in soil deposits on other trees, so next up, we're sprinkling some bird's nest ferns in a few of our arboreal pots. Our largest plant is going to be the spider plant, which we're putting here at the base of our tree on the right side. We put another small one up here in the dirt on top of our cork tree.
Now we get to add moss. We're sprinkling moss on our cork bark and walls. Over time, it's going to cover everything, but for now, we add it near our plants so it can hold some moisture for them. Onto those moss patches, we're also going to add a few really fun climbing plants. Starting off, we've got creeping fig. This stuff grows super fast, so it'll be covering these walls in no time.
Next up, we've got some more rare climbing plants, a Marcgravia species, and some really cool Selaginella varieties. We've got some green sludge, pink, and a metallic variety. One of the things we noticed when looking at pictures of crested gecko habitats were all the Selaginella, so we really wanted to make sure we had a few different types sprinkled around.
We also noticed a lot of ferns in their natural habitat, so in addition to the bird's nest, we're going to sprinkle some rabbit's foot fern around. It should be able to grow epiphytically on our branches.
Our final plant is from the client's personal plant collection, a Pinguicula, which is a flowering carnivorous plant that we put in the plant pot in the top right corner.
Now we can add our leaf litter. We want a pretty thick layer of leaf litter for cresties since we don't want them accidentally getting a mouthful of dirt when they go to eat a cricket or something. We spread our leaf litter around and then added a couple lotus pods for some additional botanicals.
For cleanup crew, we added dairy cow isopods and springtails. These guys will break down waste and keep the soil healthy and nutrient dense. The isopods will also be a good snack for the gecko if they venture up into the canopy. We could immediately see both the isopods and springtails spread out and get to work on cleaning.
We gave the tank a quick spray down, and with that, we're done.
Time for a grand reveal.
We are super happy with the tank. We've got a ton of variety in the plants, some good contrast between the light and the dark areas, and tons of places for the crested gecko to hide. If he doesn't want to be seen, he probably won't be, and that's okay. You want your animals to feel comfortable. If they feel really safe, like they're only one step away from a hiding spot, then they're going to show themselves and be out and about even more.
The AC and food dishes are really well hidden and incorporated, and honestly, the tree vibe is really working for us. Let us know what you think.
Even though the tank is only just planted, it already looks really good. We can't wait to see it in a few months. I just know that it's going to be stunning.
If you want to see how it changes and grows in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Remember, it often takes a little while for these tanks to really start to shine.
This tank is going to grow in for at least a few weeks before the gecko's added, just to give the plants time to settle and root. If you made it this far, make sure to leave a gecko emoji in the comments. Thank you for all your support.
Hit like if you liked the video, hype it up, and subscribe to see more tank builds, updates, and more.
If you want to commission a tank like this one, you can email us, and our website is going to be in the description.
That's it for this week's video.
Bye.
We'll see you in the next one.